This country's hard on people. You can't stop what's coming. It ain't all waiting on you. That's vanity.
I always like to hear about the old-timers. Never missed a chance to do so. You can't help but compare yourself against the old-timers. Can't help but wonder how they'd operated these times. There's this boy I sent to the electric chair at Huntsville here a while back. My arrest and my testimony. He killed a 14-year-old girl. Papers said it was a crime of passion, but he told me there wasn't any passion to it. Told me that he'd been planning to kill somebody for about as long as he could remember. Said if they turned him out, he'd do it again. Said he knew he was going to hell. Be there in about 15 minutes.
What is a force of nature? Why is it there? What is it seeking? And by what means has it arrived? Whether necessarily or not, this is the decided theme set by the Coen Brothers' adaptation of the 2005 novel by Cormac McCarthy. The film opens immediately with wide establishing shots of the Texas backdrop. Camera angles offer little variation in the sequence, prescribing a flat yet moody and continuous tone for the rest of this lingering film. Among other themes, the story explores the weathering effects of what can only be described as a tidal wave of reprobation inflicted on civilized society. With each progressive scene featuring Shigur, we're informed of both his ruthlessness and his subtle, maniacal disregard for morality.
Do you have any idea how crazy you are?
You mean the nature of this conversation?
I mean the nature of you.
He kills not on a whim, but with devilishly powerful discernment. Whatever rules of conduct he may have, most are overshadowed by his goal. Sheriff Tom Bell has a premonition about the scourge of crime in his town and the outlying counties, like a wind passing through at an almost foreign velocity, just as inexorable. This is not the same breed of evil and corruption as met and diffused by the old-timers. Key to understanding the implications of McCarthy's narrative is its subtext. While every character follows his or her own assigned role, there persists an elemental force to which these people are all equally subject. That is, the dual force of fate and providence. On one hand, we see clearly that the designs and intentions of the protagonists are linear. Their actions are easily explained and justified for the most part. But on the other, Anton Chigurh is enigmatic, wearing the face of a true psychopath who is inexplicable, unstoppable, and sensationally terrifying. The moment we seem to have pegged his agenda is the same in which we discover a more terrifying truth. No matter the logical or evolutionary merit of a thought, the chances of our own present-minded decisions resulting in evil or mayhem fall at about 50-50. The flip of a coin.
You know what date is on this coin?
No.
1958. It's been traveling 22 years to get here. And now it's here. And it's either heads or tails.
No Country for Old Men reconciles a disturbing trend within history. The dilemma of right and wrong, just and unjust, good versus evil, a flawed pattern of impulse, emotion, and choice welling up to our demise.
People always say the same thing.
What did I say?
They say you don't have to do this.
We can categorize these problems, which are fundamental to our own human nature, all the while failing to address the larger picture. A conscious moral decision of whether to take a life or spare one is not merely an idea. It is one of the few cornerstones separating us from beasts, and the only one which holds together our civilization. The final act finds Shigur halted in the last hour of his plan. He keeps his word and offers the grieving Carla a choice of whether to call it or submit to her death. Her death is certain, but only alluded to as the camera cuts to the front porch where he checks his expensive boots. The car accident that follows serves as a reminder of how hostage we are to the universal forces which exist beyond us.
It was like we was both back in the older times. And I was a horseback, going through the mountains of the night, going through this pass in the mountains. It was cold, and there was snow on the ground. He rode past me and kept on going, never said nothing going by, just rode on past. And he had his blanket wrapped around him and his head down. When he rode past, I seen he was carrying fire in a horn, the way people used to do, and I could see the horn from the light inside of it, about the color of the moon. And in the dream, I knew that he was going on ahead. And he's fixing to make a fire somewhere out there in all that dark and all that cold. And I knew that whenever I got there, he'd be there. Then I woke up.